in a very early phase of my life, I lost my touch and connection with the outer world and was homebound for a couple of years. I did not even know how to respond to a simple hi or hello to anyone. I was so introverted at that time. And now I had an important decision to make. And that was the moment when I understood that only I can change my life. No one can do it for me. Imagine a room full of people, and everybody sitting over there is smiling, interacting, and enjoying with one another, while you sit in one corner of that lively room all by yourself, with nobody to talk to and nobody to interact with. In your mind, you are imagining a number of scenarios where you interact with others, where you communicate with others and enjoy with others. But the reality, the reality is quite the opposite. Because you cannot even muster enough courage to walk up to someone and strike a conversation with them. So, in that crowded, lively room, you feel all alone. You feel all by yourself. Ladies and gentlemen, that is how life used to be for me just a couple of years ago. But today, I can stand before you all and say that my name is Yash Tiwari and I proudly proclaim myself to be a youth mentor, a young motivational speaker, a published researcher, and even an author of my debut novel titled A Celebration in Tribulation, all achieved by the mere age of 17. But my friends, these achievements, which may sound like a badge of honor to many, are not meant to hide my scars. The scars which I have incurred on my journey of self transformation and self improvement. Now, we all know how little children are like, right? Always curious, always carefree, and always willing to enjoy their lives. Unfortunately, because of this disease that I suffered from in a very early phase of my life, I lost my touch and connection with the outer world and was homebound for a couple of years. In fact, I couldn't even join back my school completely and on a regular basis up until the starting of 7th standard. But when I did, my second inning wasn't as easy as I expected it to be. Because everything felt quite alien to me. The scenarios, the people, the children, the teacher, the course, everything. In those moments when I was homebound, I had developed the forces of anxieties and introversion within me to a great extent. I did not even know how to respond to a simple hi or hello to anyone. I was so introverted at that time, and I did not know what to do next. Now, we all must remember that one specific kid in our classroom who always used to sit either in the corner or in the back of the classroom, hiding away from the prying eyes of the world, right? It wouldn't be wrong to say that just a couple of years ago, I used to be that exact same kid, trying to hide away from everyone, trying to hide away from each and every social interaction. But just when I thought that what could be worse than this? What could be worse than this dark tunnel which I am caught up in? The world was ready to hit me once again with yet another sledgehammer. We had this half-yearly examination in our 7th standard just some months before our finals, and in that exams, I scored just 30% marks. Yes, I failed in almost all the subjects, so that day, all along the way back to my home, I was just shivering like anything and crying like anything. And as soon as I reached my house, I rushed upstairs, locked myself inside my room, and even refused to eat anything that day. And I just cried and cried and cried. I was praying and hoping for time to stop until I heard a loud bang on the door. So my father banged the door open, rushed inside my room with my sister and my mother, held high in his hand my failing percentage mark sheet, yelled at me like anything, and gave me that dreaded look. That look which shook me to my core and felt as if he was willing to say that, Yash, you are good for nothing. I was devastated. But wasn't that true? I said. Wasn't it true that I was really good for nothing anymore? Socially weak, physically weak, academically weak, I was not able to do anything anymore. And with all these many shortcomings in myself, I was also becoming a very easy target for the bullies out there. So there is this particular incident which happened, I think, 5 to 6 years ago, but I still vividly remember it because of the impact that it had on my mental health. So on this one fateful afternoon during our school day, I was standing in one corner of my classroom. And as soon as I was about to open my lunchbox, I saw these three shadows looming over my head. So I sensed that something was not right, and I turned behind to look who he was. And there they stood. Three seniors whom I had never ever interacted with or even known who they were. And they started laughing at me. I felt uncomfortable because they were doing that for the sake of absolutely nothing. And in the next moment, turn by turn, they started making fun of me. They started mocking me about how I had no friends to interact with or share my lunch with, how I used to stand alone during the lunch break every time. If that was not enough, they even started to publicly call me out with unruly names. And my response to that? I just stood there. I just stood there like this, numb, listening to whatever they were saying, because I could not even muster enough courage to stop them. And that day, once again, like every other time, I went back home, locked myself inside my room, and went it all out in form of tears. Because back then it felt as though crying myself till exhaustion was the only way to release the burden that was accumulating over here. But all this while, through all these sequences of events and these sequences of mishaps, I felt that they were having a very adverse and a very significant impact on my mental health. I was always baffled and full of anxieties. And whenever I looked at children of my very same age enjoying their lives, interacting with one another, and doing whatever they want to do, and then seeing myself struggling with my own personality, it made me realize a huge difference between surviving and thriving in this world. And now I had an important decision to make. Either I could accept the mess of my life as it was, or I could pick the pieces up and arrange them according to my own will. So I raised a question in my mind that, Yash, is this the kind of life that you want to live ahead? Don't you deserve to be happy? Don't you deserve to be expressively free? Don't you deserve to enjoy your life? And most importantly, don't you want to enjoy your life? And that was the moment when I understood that only I can change my life. No one can do it for me. And isn't that the universal truth? Only you can change your life and nobody in this world can do it for you. So I embarked on the journey of self-transformation. The reason why I was stuck in this mess, this dark scenario, was because I was just focusing on the negatives out there in the world. Only the negative aspects about my personality and the negative thoughts within my mind. So I decided to flip the coin, to focus more and in fact primarily on the positives out there. The positive things out there in the world and the positive thoughts in here in my mind. And also, I decided to express gratitude. Be grateful for each and every progress, no matter how small it looks, that I make on my journey of self-transformation from that very point onwards. I stopped comparing myself with anybody else in this world and started comparing myself with my own self of yesterday, of the previous day. I put my mind in a state of overthinking. And by overthinking, I do not mean allowing a stream of endless thoughts to rush in your mind. Rather, I talk about overthinking as a process of allowing motivating voices to be there in my mind. Voices that would scream, when I was falling down that, Yash, you cannot fall down right now. Get up and save yourself. Voices that would shout out even when I was afraid of the unknown that, Yash, no matter how tough this looks, you are tougher. Voices that would yell even in my deepest of sleeps that maybe today you failed. You could not achieve what you wanted to achieve today. But tomorrow is a new day. Start again and build yourself again. I started to fight every demon that I had within here. I started to embrace every fear that I had within here. I started to do everything and anything that I was afraid of or felt anxious about, and used all my fears as a compass to guide me through this dark tunnel which I was caught up in and get out of it. I decided to be more participative in the conversations that were happening around me. And not just that, sometimes I even myself initiated the conversations or strike the dialogue and tried to hold on to that for as long as I possibly could. I started to participate in public speaking events like debates and extemporaries, and started to expose myself to larger number of audiences slowly and gradually. Of course, there were days when I felt shattered, when I cried like anything, when I felt that this is defeat. But did I give up? Did I stop? Absolutely no. Because when I embarked on the journey of self-transformation, I decided that this world is a field of practice for me, and I will never take the decision to give up or to give in. And tell me, my friends, if you are willing to improve yourself and if you are willing to transform yourself, then how can you do that without making a fool of yourself sometimes? In my life, one thing that I have learned is that had I accepted defeat, I would have never started to live the life that I am living right now. Now, I today stand here as a testimony for all of you about how silencing your mind and just primarily focusing on the positives out there in the world and within your own self can not only transform your way of thinking or your ideology or your perspective about this world, but also transform your life, also improve your life. I can totally understand that there are people out there who still struggle on the grounds of social interaction. But trust me, I can guarantee you that if you put in the right amount of effort and dedication towards it, you will reap the award of your hard work. You will achieve the kind of life that you want to have. And most importantly, you will be able to transform each and every limitation that you have into a strength for yourself. The greatest of strength that you can possibly have. From sitting in my class all alone, having no friends and being afraid of the bullies, to now having uncountable number of supportive and appreciative people around me. From being scared to initiate a conversation or even say a reply to a simple hi or hello, to now delivering audacious speeches and giving long sessions to even 600 and 700 individuals at once, all at this very young age that I am in right now. I have transformed my life. I have improved my life. But today, I urge you all to improve your lives, to transform your lives. Not for me, but for your own self. Not for my, but for your own benefit. So go and give yourself the life that you truly deserve. And most importantly, that you truly want to live. Thank you.
Tell us what you think about this video and don't forget to like, share and subscribe.